So I'm just outside where I got my SAG card, and I stopped into this little restaurant slash bar, and it's in Hollywood. But that's where I got my SAG card. And as I walked in, I thought, I've been here before. And then I was like, wait a second. This is where I had played the part as a heckler in Frank and Ava. And I thought, this is so cool. It's something that I went to Hollywood for. And I don't know, it just brought back a lot of feelings and things like that. Anyway, while I was there, I ran into this person, and she was a palm reader, and she wanted to read my palm. And I thought it was really interesting because she said, you're kind of carrying something with you. And she said this woman had red hair. And I thought, oh, okay. And she's, and we're talking about my former. And she got a couple things right. Most of it was kind of right, which I was kind of surprised. And I told her I was a believer in Jesus. And then we kind of sat down and we were chit-chatting a little bit. I said, I think all of us, we kind of carry things around a little bit. And because it happened, we have to acknowledge those things that happen. And I have a red dot on my face right now. I'm like, where is this red dot coming from? Did you see the red dot? That's pretty funny. I'm like, where is this red dot coming from? So it must be from a light somewhere. And so now it's gone. Now it's back. It's pretty funny. Where's that red dot there? Anyway, see the red dot now? Red dot's gone. Red dot there. Red dot gone. Anyway. And I started thinking about dreams, goals, visions, and what I want to talk to people about. I said, the number one thing that I want to do is I want to encourage people. There's so many people that are just, they want to drag people down, and that's like their sole purpose. And I always thought that America was different. I always thought, I'm an American, I'm different, I want to help people. Why don't more people want to do that? That red dot's back. I'm going to leave it right there on my face. That way you kind of like, what's that red dot doing? And so, and I just kind of thought about that. It was a cool evening, but it was very thought-provoking. So I guess my thoughts are a little bit jumbled a little bit. But the one thing I know, and the most important thing that always grabs me back and leads me back, is Jesus Christ and my salvation at 17. Because I know where I'm spending my eternity. I'm not concerned about where I'm going. And most people don't know for sure they're going to heaven, hell, whatever they believe in, purgatory, whatever else they believe in. But it's just kind of interesting that I'm glad I have that solidification and where my soul is secure, because nothing else matters but that. The rest is just semantics. It's just semantics. It's like, where are you going to work? What are you going to do? How are you going to do this? Maybe we get a big score and we're able to do something that has like where we make a bunch of money, or maybe we think we have a big score and then we lose a bunch of money. But no matter what it is, my thing that I would encourage you with tonight is to really, really love this path that you're on. If you fall in love with life, sooner or later you're going to fall in love with God, because He's the one that gave you that life. That's a great thought right there. I'm so happy. Again, back to where I got my SAG card. you know. And if you've well, you've never read my screenplay, but in my screenplay it talks about where he's looking for something. He's looking for some answers. He's looking for this. He's looking for that. And he's trying to find out how he can get into acting. And then all of a sudden, that's when it happens. And he gets the invite. And that's what happened to me. And the invite happened where I ended up being here. And that's where I got my Screen Actors Guild card from. And so, whether that translates into something or not, I was just really happy because, you know, God led me out to this city. Most people just have a dream and then they don't try and follow through. My thought process would be for you is to follow through with what you feel you want to do. Everybody has a different dream. Everybody has a different goal. Everybody has a different ambition. Everybody has a different path. Nobody's path is the same. Nobody's goals are the same. Nobody's anything are the same. And so what I would recommend to you is follow your heart and your dream, because inside your beautiful heart is what God put in there. Nobody else put that in there but God. Jesus Christ is who I'm talking about. Because he's the creator. Father, Son, Holy Ghost. So remember that and translate that into something that's going to be what you feel you should do. And then just go out and do it. And no matter the outcome, enjoy the ride. Enjoy the path. And if we all would do that, it's a beautiful day every day. It's a God-given day every day. We don't have to wait around for Christmas or Thanksgiving or a holiday and things like that. And I believe in all those things from the eclectic purpose of, because now they've become more family-oriented days and things like this, and many people are without families, and many people are without things, or their families have rejected them, or something else has happened. Having gone through some of that stuff myself. So you have to just smile through that and be able to reach out to other people. The most bitter people that I see, and the people that give up on these streets in Hollywood, are those people that they become embittered by things and they haven't enjoyed the ride and the thing of life, because we have bad things that happen and we think they're bad, but they're good. Those are there to strengthen us and help us to move forward and to help us really have our internal compass. And if you think about that thought of an internal compass, if you think about that thought of an internal compass, it's something that is God-given. And again, just so many people don't enjoy the ride. I think that's the most important thing that you can ever do, is enjoy the ride. It's kind of like when I was water skiing. And also snow skiing, but water skiing, and I tried this new thing, it was called a wakeboard. And boy, I had so many crashes, and at the I was like, you know, I'd had like maybe like 10 or 12 crashes. And then I'd always tell my friend Rob Green, I said, you know what? I'm at my I'm at my headache level. So, you know, you have these crashes on the water, and you know, it's something that you it kind of takes it's a stopping point and a building point, because you had the crash, you know, several crashes, but you learned something, and then after that I became better and better and better. And it's the same thing in life. We have these little crashes that happen. The crashes build us, or the crashes break us. So what I'm telling you today, is to enjoy the crashes, enjoy the things that happen that are sometimes we feel limiting, but they're empowering. Don't let those things limit you. Get back off the mat. Be a good soldier of Jesus Christ. And you don't know Jesus, find him through your crashes, because he's the one that strengthens us to get up off the mat, to look to him. It's not your family that's going to help you this Christmas. It's not anybody that's going to help you but the pure. Right now, I know we heard some things on Hollywood there, some cars went by, but it's quiet on Hollywood. And if you come out here like on Christmas on Hollywood, it's quiet. It's really eerie quiet. There's nobody on the road, nobody on the streets, like that one song says, nobody on the road, nobody on the street. And that's when you really find him. Finding Jesus is doing those times of solitude and building you up to who you are, not to who somebody else thinks you are. People are we either let them become a detriment, or we let them become something that is a building point. I had a situation this today at work where one of my coworkers, who was really always encouraging, and then the last few times he stopped being encouraging, and then today he said something and he was like, yeah, just get the order, man, just get the order. What are you doing? Why? And I thought, what is he flipping out about? And then I went back there and he said something more, and I said, listen, I don't know what's going on, man, but I'm just trying to take care of the customer. I'm trying to help out here. And, and you always said that you wanted me to be a great waiter here. And he's a busboy there. And he said something back. I said, okay, then I just be like McDonald's waiter. No disrespect to McDonald's, but at the place that I work at, it's attention to detail and really taking care of the customer. And you want them to have a vacation. You want them to have a great evening where they're going to come back. And one of the customers that came in today, and they say guests instead of customers, but the customer that came in today, I touched them in a good way, and boom, they gave me cash. Just give me cash in hand. So my point in saying this is, you need to, no matter what your profession or it's just like Zig Ziglar said, you give enough people what they want, and you will get what you want. And Jesus said, he that will save his life will lose it. But he that loses his life for my sake and for the kingdom's sake will find it. You're not limited by anything else but you. And if you let yourself limit you, that's your... I saw a girl walking down the street and she was limping. Like, she had a physical deformity, probably in her hips or whatever, something like that. She had the biggest smile on her face. You're limited by what's in your mind, not what's happened to you, not what's happened to your physical attributes or things like this. I could go through a car crash and be a burn victim or whatever, and I could still come out and bring joy and peace and happiness to somebody else. What are you willing to give for the kingdom's sake? Because this life is so temporary. It's not about this life. It's about the next life. So we're living this life for the next life. We live our life with honor and principle and love in our hearts. That's what it's about. So, I'm trying to think if I'm done or not. I'm looking up at a couple really strong stars here. I think that's Gemini. That's my brother's sign, which means Taurus might be up there even closer, because Taurus and Gemini kind of run together. But yeah. Anyway, it's good to reflect, and it's good to put things together. Always put them together in a positive light, because it's God that works in you both to will and to do of His good pleasure. He's doing something good, and He's doing something loving and kind, and no matter what your demographic, no matter what your orientation, you know, we couldn't even mention that in a Muslim country, but here we can in America. No matter what your orientation, no matter what you think, thought, anything like that, you know, there's so many things. Just don't limit yourself. Keep the doors open. Keep your heart open. This is when great things happen. And you're on the cusp and the verge of making something amazing happen in your life because of the things that have happened in the past. So don't stop. Like the one journey says, don't stop believing. There's just so many amazing things that can happen in your life. So keep it real, and keep it day to day. The past prepares you for the future. I've talked to so many people that are therapists now, that have had really bad situations happen in their past. You know, I think of this one thing, Hookers for Jesus, that's based out of Vegas. And they reach prostitutes and people that are being trafficked and things like this. The thing that you have to remember is that even when these things that are really bad that do happen, they're happening to prepare you for something that's in the future. It's not something that's meant to hurt you. It's something that's meant to help you. Even though, I mean, we live in a world that's kind of messy, and so it's a struggle to talk about those things because I haven't experienced those things. I haven't experienced being in the bondage of someone else and being sex trafficked, or being in the bondage of somebody else that's even a family member and as a kid or something like that. I had a very good upbringing. In other words, my parents lived their life with honor and things like that. So again, my encouragement to you, no matter if you're live in Compton, or you live on the south side of Chicago, or you live in, no matter where it is in America, or you're in a third world country, God's got something great for you. But you have to believe. You came from God, you're going back to God. Don't give up on the beautiful belief. I mean, I loved having kids from the standpoint, from every standpoint. I loved having kids, and I love being around kids. I mean, I'm an adopted uncle from I don't know how many families now. And so, why is that? Because the kids know that I'm a kid, and they can number one, there we go, there's a big car. Number one, they can trust me. And number two, I act like a kid, and I think like a kid because I don't want to be like an adult. When you become an adult, you have to have an adult type thoughts and things like that. You have things with lawsuits, you have this, you have that. There's a bunch of things that happen. So my encouragement to you is, as you go through this maze, it's kind of like a corn maze. Like, you know, you go through the corn maze and you're like, I don't know if I can find my way out. Or you go through or one time I was hiking, I was like, and I kind of forgot to get my bearings. You know, they always say, look back, get things, viewpoints and things like that. Landmarks. So when you do that, you just have to enjoy that ride and that situation. That's what you need to do. Don't give up on life. Embrace life. Embrace where you're at. And look to Jesus Christ. He's the creator. And I had so many people that like, well, I believe this guy, I believe that. Okay, fine. Do that. But I'm going to look to the one that made the stars. I'm going to look to the one that made the moon. I'm going to look to the one that made the sun. I'm going to look to the one that made the ocean and the tides and everything else that's in this wonderful place. I'm going to look to the one that made freshwater springs in the North and the South Pole, and somehow there's salt water all the way around. You can't explain this stuff. How come the North Pole moves its magnetic field? Because God moves things around. Look to Him in Jesus' name.